Hello everyone and welcome to English with Yosri. This time of the year is the exam time. Well, exams, there are people who are having exams this time or they have their exams drawing near or approaching. يا إما ناس بتمتحن دلوقتي يا إما ناس قربت تمتحن خلاص. And the most important thing you might need during an exam is a good memory. You need to have a very good an active memory to remember the information and the details you studied throughout the year. محتاج ذاكرة كويسة جدا عشان تساعدك تفتكر المعلومات اللي انت ذاكرتها خلال السنة. So in this video, we'll discuss some expressions that have to do with remembering and forgetting things. So let's start. So the first expression is bear in mind or keep in mind. So bear something in mind or keep something in mind. This is when your teacher tells you a very important piece of information. Something you need to remember during the exam time. You need to always keep it in your memory and never to forget it. So he would tell you, keep in mind to revise the final chapter because there is a high possibility that it might be in the exam. راجع آخر chapter. افتكر إن أنت تراجع آخر chapter علشان ده في possibility عالية جدا إن هو يبقى في الامتحان. So bear in mind or keep in mind.
Please bear in mind that our daughter loves him, Dan. Please bear in mind that our daughter loves him, Dan.
Bear in mind that the next 100 pages can get a little bit dry. Bear in mind that the next 100 pages can get a little bit dry.
You are in the revision session. انت دلوقتي في session المراجعة مع المدرس بتاعك. He's asking you questions about the curriculum and asking you so many questions about different topics. Well, one question you couldn't answer. سألك سؤال وانت نسيت ومش قادر تجاوب عليه. He actually explained this many times before, so he says, let me jog your memory about this. Let me or allow me to jog your memory about something. So if someone jogs your memory about something, من الآخر بيحاول كده يفكرك بطريقة معينة إن أنت تفتكر حاجة معينة أو يقول لك مثلا موقف يفكرك بحاجة. So he jogs your memory about what he explained to you before in the previous lessons. So jog someone's memory.
Jog my memory, retrace my steps. Jog my memory, retrace my steps.
Of course, a couple hundred might jog my memory. Of course, a couple hundred might jog my memory.
So your teacher kept jogging your memory about the answer. He kept reminding you of all the contexts and all the situations that happened in order for you to remember the answer. Yet you couldn't. You couldn't at that moment remember, you couldn't remember the answer at that moment. So you're going home now and suddenly the answer sprang to mind. Suddenly the answer came to your mind or sprang to your mind. So if something comes to your mind, or if something springs to your mind, or springs to mind, you suddenly remember it. بتفتكرها كده مرة واحدة. يعني أنت لقيت نفسك مروح مرة واحدة الإجابة جت في بالك. So it springs to your mind.
There's an eternal question that always springs to mind. There's an eternal question that always springs to mind.
Nothing's coming to my mind. Nothing's coming to my mind.
Now you are in the exam. انت دخلت الاكزام خلاص. في حالة كده كانت بتحصل لنا كلنا او ما زالت بتحصل اللي هي رهبة الامتحان. It makes you forget everything. انت تقريبا بتنسى كل اللي انت ذاكرته. You almost forget everything you studied. So your mind goes blank. You can't remember a thing. It's like a blank sheet. You remember nothing. So when your mind goes blank, you can't remember a thing, probably because you're worried. So that's how you say it. My mind went blank when I saw the exam paper because I was very afraid.
And my mind goes completely blank, and I start saying, listen, I need a ticket to get to, and my mind goes completely blank, and I start saying, listen, I need a ticket to get to,
That is so weird how your mind just goes blank. That is so weird how your mind just goes blank.
Now, this expression is for the nerds. Those people who study very well before the test, and they do very well on the test. الناس بقى الدحيحة اللي بتذاكر كويس جدا وساعات تنسى حاجات صغيرة. يعني مثلا نسي يسطر، نسي مثلا يحط شرطة تحت إجابة معينة. So when something slips your mind, you actually forget about it because you didn't pay close attention. So you'd hear them say, organization slipped my mind. Well, highlighting the answer here slipped my mind. أنا نسيت أسطر، أنا نسيت أرتب الورقة أو أرتب الإجابة بالطريقة اللي أنا عايزها. So if something slips your mind, you simply forget about it.
Slip my mind.
Yes.
Slip my mind.
Yes.
Didn't slip your mind. You didn't want the job. Didn't slip your mind. You didn't want the job.
Now, those people who don't study at all, who bought the books and left them on the shelf and they didn't even hit them throughout the whole year. الناس اللي اشترت الكتب وحطتها وما ذاكرتش فيها كتير خالص، يعني لدرجة ان هي ممكن تكون مش فاكرة اصلا الكتاب شكله ايه. So one time during revision sessions, you'd find a mother revising with her son or her daughter. تلاقي أم كده قاعدة بتراجع مع ابنها وبتسأله كده كام سؤال من المنهج. She's asking him some questions from the curriculum and he can't remember a thing. He remembered nothing. So she would normally say, okay, of course, out of sight, out of mind. You don't study the whole year. So I can quite expect that you do not remember a thing and you can't even recognize the answers. انت بقالك قد ايه ما فتحتش الكتب دي وما ذاكرتش. They were out of sight, so they are out of your mind. يعني انت الحاجة دي ما ذاكرتهاش بقالك فترة طويلة جدا، فطبيعي ان انت مش هتفتكرها ومش تبقى جاية في بالك اساسا. You can also say this about people. When you don't see someone a lot, لما بتشوفش شخص كتير ممكن اصلا تنساه، ممكن تنسى ان الشخص ده اصلا يعني في تفاصيل كتير انت تعرفها عنه. So you might forget about something when you don't see it a lot. That's what the expression means. So out of sight, out of mind.
Right, because he was never real. Out of sight, out of mind. Right, because he was never real. Out of sight, out of mind.
But it's probably just out of sight, out of mind. But it's probably just out of sight, out of mind.
Well, that's everything for this time. I hope these expressions would be helpful to you and that you'd be able to use them in your daily lives because they are actually very, very recurrent in any English community. So I wish you all the best with your exams, inshallah, and I wish you'd always have a very fine memory that would help you remember everything. Thank you.